End of Game Algorithm, Part 1. Hi everybody, this is Sam with Python Basics, and a couple videos ago we talked about how there's a first-person shooter game that I like to play that after each round there is a replay of a perspective of the top award, and I've kind of theorized how that goes about. So we've made a artificial data set here of a username, the points that they received, and the timestamps. So let's just go ahead. So we have our data set, and we're going to bring this in to a pandas DataFrame, and we're going to do a few things. First, we're going to bring it in, and we're just going to kind of look at it and have it. And I guess I probably could have printed it out. So here we are. And we can go back and forth and take a peek and experiment to make sure that our algorithm works the way in which we are expecting it. So there's a couple things we need to do first. So in the video when we first started discussing this, I showed that we're going to need to first isolate these, then zip them together, and then begin to iterate through. So how about we go ahead and first let's break this out, and we need to first isolate this and loop through and then break out and zip the columns. So let's just go ahead and get started with that. So if you're new here, thanks for joining us. This is what we do. We do micro videos. We break out single topics and break them into bite size and really understandable topics. We make this very simplistic and understandable. So first we really need to know who all's here. So the first step we need to do is grab the users. So let's do that. I was hoping to make this into 2 videos, but I think this may end up being 3. So because this is a lot, and it's once you see it and think about it, it's not as complex as you may believe, but when you're first processing this, it can be unbelievably daunting. So all right, let's just kind of go through what I'm doing right here if you've not seen any of this before, and if I can spell unique properly. So what in the world am I doing? Okay. So what am I doing here in this first step? So let's bring this in and change this to COD. And I think I had some weird background color, so let me check that, make sure it's going right. So all right. So what I'm doing is I want to know basically how many users there are. So because we need to automate this entire process, because this is just going to run in the background and then grab the timestamp from the perspective of which user received the most points in the smallest amount of time window, and then just automatically goes. So we need to know who the users are, and so now let's break this down bits at a time. So we have our COD, then we have our users. Helps if you spell users. So now here's all of them, so we just grab that column. But we have duplicates because somebody's going to be getting more than 1 point, hopefully. So all right. So now what this is doing is I'm just saying, hey, I just want the unique names. So now here we go. Okay. So there were only four users in this match. That's a great place to start. So now we need to put this in a list, because we're now going to iterate through this list. So as you see, I don't know if you guys have ever heard me use the term Bob Ross. He was a painter back when I was a kid, but he would go through these steps and you would watch it, and you'd watch this paint go from his board to the canvas, and it'd look like paint and look like a canvas, and then all of a sudden it would stop looking like paint and the canvas, and it would look like this unbelievable picture. So that's the way I kind of like to teach, is that I want to have this be letters and functions, and then boom, it automatically turns into a algorithm, and you just follow the process. So all right, so we have a couple of things that we need to do here. So as we're going through, so now that if we were to take our, let's see, so we're going to iterate through this for user in users. Again, if I can spell today, and type. So what am I doing? I'm just going through here, and we're just going to isolate this part. All right, so we can now, now you understand what we're doing. So now we're going to come through here, and this is what I love about Python and grabbing of a variable and using the variable as many times as you want. So we're going to come back through here, and we're going to go user equal to I don't know why I'm having such a hard time typing today. So now we're going to replace this, oops, sorry, with the data frame. So now watch what happens. So now, bingo, this is the beginning basis of what we're doing. We are grabbing the entire data frame each time and slicing out. So now here is user 1's little data frame, users 2 data frame, 3 and 4, and so on. So all right, so very cool. So now let's be prepared that the database is writing and it's just throwing out all kinds of stuff, and the values may not be in order. So we need to handle that. So now we're going to reorder this. Sort values. Let me make sure I don't have any more background colors. Okay. Values. And we're going to sort this by our timestamp, because we want this to be in order, because we're about to begin to do arithmetic. And if these are not in sequential order, our arithmetic will fail. So that's just a life lesson of the things that I've learned. So ascending, and we're going to make this true. All right. So now run this again. It helps if you spell your methods correctly. Sort values. That is the proper function for this. Okay, so great. It worked. So now the next step is we need to slice out points, and we need to slice out our timestamp. And we're just going to go, I called this point list equals data frame and points. Close that. And then timestamp list data frame .ts. Now, what did we do up here? We put it, we wrapped, once we got our data frame and it's going to be a series, we wrapped it around a list, right? So we're just going to kind of skip that step because you understand it. So we're going to convert these both into lists. And I'm about to check our time right here. And we're probably going to be wrapping this up in just a second. So, all right. Let's print our point list, and our timestamp list. All right. Let's run this. So, all right. Point list, timestamp list, and we could get username in here. Let's do that. There we go. Let's run all these. So now when we look at it, there's Steve-O. There's their stuff. Points. And Samson. Points and time. So now, last little part that I think is vital for us to do before we end this is we need to enumerate. We need to begin to wrap this around. So if you've not seen, well, we need to zip it first, and then we'll enumerate it, and then we'll get all into this. So we're going to do this right here. And I called this sliced. And we're just gonna do all these layers. We're gonna put this in a list, then enumerate, because we're gonna need this as an index. Enumerate. There we go. And zip. Okay. And we're gonna. I wanted to put point list first, and then TS list. And I don't know why that didn't show up. Oh, it jumped on the other side. All right. So now let's print sliced. Let's see what in the world I did. All right. Let's put user here. Let's put user back. So what did I just do? So as we can see, here's our last one. Marky Mark, and here are these two columns zipped together. So you can see 100, 900, another 100, and 100. So this is the beginnings of our first step, because remember how we said we needed to block it out? Then we're going to need to iterate through all of this right here. And I think this is a great stopping point. So here are some great building blocks of how we're going to be doing this. We're importing our data frame. We're finding our users. We're iterating through our user list, slicing out our data frame. We're sorting it. And then we are zipping and enumerating our point and time column, because we're going to be going through, and I'll pull the picture back up next video, because yeah, we're already at 13 minutes, so I don't want to lose you. But we've already done a lot of the heavy lifting by breaking all of this out. I'm probably going to need to do 2 videos to finish this up. Now I'm more confident about that. But please, please, please begin to work on this. And it's a small data set that I created, and you're able to put it in Excel and just import it. Or if you want to create your own lists of timestamps and usernames, and then just go ahead and put that into a data frame. I have videos for that as well. But please make sure, if you have not jumped down in the Discord server down below, go ahead and do that. There's a tremendous growing community over there, a lot of support. Please ask any questions. There is no bad question. There is no dumb question. There's just a question that hasn't been asked yet. That's it. So please drop any comments, questions, video requests if you don't want to do it on the Discord server. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're hitting that like, subscribe button, notification bell. I really appreciate it. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you really enjoyed today's video. And if you haven't, check out this video right here or this one right down here. And most important, make sure you're hitting this subscribe button and the notification bell. Thanks again for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.